I think it's possible to replace our broken relationship with the living world with a more functional and healthy relationship, and I actually think it would be really easy to do. Because the heart of the problem is not something that lives out there in the physical world. And when you look at all the problems that are out there, like how do we solve ocean plastic pollution, or how do we solve 40 billion tons a year of carbon going into our atmosphere, or species extinctions, like the physical problems out there in the physical world seem incredibly overwhelming and hard to solve. But in another way, you can see all of those problems as being symptoms of a problem that is in the dimension of our consciousness. And the beauty of that approach is that consciousness can change in the blink of an eye. Collective consciousness can shift in an instant. And that to me is really the heart of the problem, is that our broken relationship, like relationship is something that lives in consciousness. And we can mend our relationship. And that shift in collective consciousness that I'm craving for, and a lot of people are, it's not some kind of magical, metaphysical thing. It's a really simple thing, is to simply remember what we have collectively forgotten, that we love our world. Just to remember, like to shift the locus of our consciousness from our mind, our intellectual mind, back into our body and to our heart, and to feel our sadness. And I think that we all feel a tidal wave of sadness. We're all holding that sadness off because we feel how much sadness we would feel if we would let ourselves feel it. And so we live in collective fear of sadness. We're grief averse because we fear that if we let ourselves feel that sadness, then that's the same as depression, overwhelm, anxiety, and there's so much of it to feel because so much is being lost in our world right now, that if we would fully feel it, then we would just be sad forever and never be happy again. And this for me was the transformational lesson that I took from the Midway Project, was that grief that we feel is not the same as despair. It's the same as love. And so when we allow ourselves to feel that sadness, it's the exact same feeling as our love for those things. And so the more we can feel that grief, the more we connect with the deepest part of ourself, where our wisdom and compassion reside. And then we're home. And if we could achieve that collectively, I mean, we don't even know what's on the other side of that doorway.